Hello and welcome back, everyone, to Legacy of the Duelist on Rocket Rabbit Commentaries. And in this episode, because we actually lost 100 Eyes Dragon, the non-anime version, now we have to actually attempt to beat Kalin with Slow Burn, because that is what we do. Kalin's Infernity deck for this duel specifically is not as powerful as it could be, but it is powerful enough to where I'm not comfortable actually trying to fight it with Yusei's variant of, Junk Stardust. And yes, as Annotations Gradit mentions here, the AI is not actually programmed to know what the lines for Infernity actually are. It's why they're running Depth Amulet in the first place. Depth Amulet is honestly a really good ignition for the Infernity card effects, but it kind of depends on your opponent actually having turns with which to force you to discard stuff, and at that point you're not really playing the real positive game plan for Infernity. It's an Infernity beetle. No, look, another Death Amulet.
Seldom, if ever, does the Yu-Gi-Oh! Character that makes popular these cards actually use a tournament winning strategy.
Kalin gets close, and Crow very specifically, like Crow's first two appearances were actually very, very powerful when we first see him in the anime. But I will say specifically that Kalin specifically has the problem of the AI not knowing how the fuck to use Infernities, because the variant of Infernity that he's running here is not actually all that bad. It just has all the members in it, and you don't actually want all the members when you're running Infernity. You want Avenger, you want Beetle, and you want Archfiend. If you're really, really pressed for additional monster slots, you might consider running Dwarf, but even then, you actually don't really want Dwarf. And when you have all the Infernity pieces put together, you end up specifically going into a bunch of relatively high-level synchro plays, in order to decimate your opponent with that level of attack power.
I'm kind of, speaking of high-level synchro plays, I noticed your Trishula effects opted to banish the Infernity Beetle instead of the Earthbound Immortal that he put in his graveyard.
Yeah, why would I want to get rid of the Earthbound Immortal?
Perhaps it's my inability to remember whether or not they can be summoned from the graveyard.
They can be summoned from the graveyard, but in order for Kalin to do that right now, Mr. Cloud, he would need to get a continuous trap card to resurrect it and a field spell. Do you see him getting either of those in one draw?
No, because once again, all we had to do was just shuffle Kalin's deck for the rematch, and boom, he's powerless. He did not draw into a good opening hand.
That's not entirely true. He did have double Depth Amulet, and if he had played it correctly, he would have been able to get out. 100 Eyes Dragon quite easily. Like, the only thing that he was honestly missing out of his opening hand would have been Archfiend.
Still, he had something missing.
High Infernity Beetle. Beetle effect, attributing it for 2 more Infernity monsters. No, that's right, he can only summon Beetle off of Beetle. Oh, well.
Well, that was... so all he did was just thin his deck and put another Beetle in the graveyard. Second hat.
Guardian Sphinx effect, bounce the Beetle back to his hand, and then swing for game. Waha.
Because he probably doesn't have removal right now.
Yeah, because again, this variant of Kalin is
it.
running a majority of the Infernity archetype, which isn't something that the Infernities actually want to do. And so we have rescued Kalin from being a Dark Signer by sending him to the Shadow Realm.
He's in a better place.
Alright, here we go into 5D spoilers. Ahem. Rowan Goodwin is Rex Goodwin's brother. I believe that they're actually
Roman.
twin brothers, and the problem that I have with this is that it means that Rex specifically not only knows who the last signer is himself, but he also knew about the Dark Signer stuff before we actually started the series. And Roman right here is actually throwing Yusei's Chosen One plotline at him instead of resolving the Dark Signer plotline.
Chosen One.
Yeah,
plotline.
Yusei actually has a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, specifically how his father effectively invented Domino City by use of being a mad scientist that made the Enter D reactor, and then the Enter D reactor had a bunch of problems in its while it was running that caused it to explode.
Allow me to comment that, especially for media, for fiction media that is based on video games, the Chosen One formula for storytelling narrative is easily the most frequently used.
The thing is that Yusei ends up falling into being a Chosen One narrative, and it's not even really explicit that it's supposed to be that way. It's just that he's got bloodline directly related to the destruction of the city. And yeah, Roman's plan specifically is to use the power of the Darksiders to bring about the Crimson Dragon's arch nemesis, who ends up being literally Satan. So, all right, we're once again back to trying to do junk starter stuff, and we started with Yusei's best normal spell, Tuning. Come on, Tuning, hit off the good stuff, please.
Spider.
Let's see. We want to grab Junk Synchron, and we milled. Oh, we milled Twister. Damn it. Oh well.
We're quick on the draw.
All right. So I think what we're gonna do here is we're gonna summon Quick Draw Synchron, discarding Quillbolt. Then we'll summon Junk Synchron, and then go into Junk Warrior. No, because our level 7 option is Nitro. Do you think Nitro would be a good play here, Mr. Cloud?
Yeah, because once again we're up against another AI opponent, the second AI opponent in this exhibit of Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist. So there's a high probability that trap card that he's got face down is designed to help him build the pieces of his board, not necessarily to interfere with what we're doing.
So we are going into Nitro. The thing is, Roman's Spider deck is actually got a lot of pieces of a rather annoying interaction going through it. It's not necessarily the most consistent of decks, to be perfectly honest. But but there is a bunch of stuff in it that I'm worried about that I can't actually remember because it's been so long since I started playing this. Meh. There it is, Lair Wire.
Oh, damn. Well, that was sudden and unexpected.
Self-destruct, and this is a relatively new card that Roman shouldn't actually have access to, but I'm okay with him having access to it because it is a cool bug. Okay, now we can use Call of the Haunted to bring back our Nitro Warrior.
Oh, I wanted to surprise him with it.
Well, we are surprising him with it. I mean, we're doing it at the end of his turn, so.
Mr. Gerdak, quick play spells can be played from the hand as long as it's your turn.
Yeah, but Call of the Haunted isn't a quick play spell.
I mean, like, he could have had an MST, and it would have been his failure to put it face down, so then he could just destroy Call of the Haunted during our turn.
Yeah, but the AI
not.
doesn't actually use MST like that for the most part. Also, the AI has a tendency of running Soul Charge and doing literally nothing with it. They'll spend several thousand life points to build up a board and then fail to do anything with it. I don't know why they do this. Here, Call of the Haunted for Junk Warrior again.
It would take a perfectly convenient complement to a play as expensive as Soul Charge in order to turn the game around and cause dramatic tension into a cliffhanger.
Bring out Quillbolt Hedgehog, thanks to the fact that we got Junk Synchron out. Then normal summon Level Eater.
Level Eater's banned now. That's funny.
Actually, no. I don't think Level Eater is banned at the moment. It might be limited, to be perfectly honest, but I don't think it's banned right now.
So we have the pieces for another Nitro Warrior?
No, we could not summon Nitro Warrior with this because Nitro Warrior specifically requires that we have it requires Nitro Synchron. Quick Draw Synchron allows us to circumvent that specifically because, well, Quick Draw Synchron gets treated as every named Synchron monster while it's on the field. Thank you, Stardust. Also, draw a card off of Tuningware. Ooh, Starlight Road. Starlight Road is factually one of the best protection trap cards ever fucking printed. As long as your opponent attempts to destroy 2 or more things, Starlight Road is a free Stardust Dragon. It is fucking amazing.
Yeah, I actually forgot that Starlight Road was a thing for the longest time. And I'm happy to see it back, because I remember that was a card that people used to use on me when I was going up against Synchros and Stardust Dragon back in the day.
Yeah. Alright, Junk Synchron. Use its effect to bring back Tuningware. Wait, is it tuning? Yeah, it is Tuningware that we need to grab, because then we need to reduce our Stardust Dragon's level by 1 in order to bring back
level leader out.
And then we can synchro into Junk Warrior.
Right, the game is keeping track of Stardust Dragon's level. That's funny.
This is what I mean by Yusei having a relatively powerful combo deck. When you have all the pieces together, Yusei's turns end up taking a couple of minutes to do, but the combos are actually very linear and very satisfying to do. Also, Shooting Star, a card that Yusei shouldn't have yet, but it's cool that he does. But yeah, as annotation
hold your
mentions here, the
there.
duel is effectively over, so... And then we blow up the self-destruct end with our Nitro Warrior.
Right, because he had to summon it face up, so he can't use the...
Well, the flip effect is that both players take 1,000 damage, so...
Self-destruction indeed. Will this be Roman's final turn?
And yes, it is. Activate Shooting Star.
Target 1 card on the field. Destroy it. It's probably a flip effect
no,
monster.
it was Dark Spider. Battle Waltz.
Damn it.
I actually really like Battle Waltz. It's just that, very explicitly, Battle Waltz is a card that never got a good chance to, show off how awesome it is, because it's so goddamn specific. You need to have a relatively powerful synchro monster already on the field, and the token that you generate can't inflict battle damage. So...
Yep.
As cool as it is, it ends up being a decent card that you never want to use. Anyway, we have successfully beat Roman. Haha. Anyway, in the next episode, more 5D stuff.